While many people thought Donald Trump's political career was over, he returned to the White House again, even when he didn't have a favorable personal and financial record. But from psychological perspective, he seems like a child that wants everything for himself. He had a rich family. From his first days until now, whatever, whoever, and wherever he wishes to, he gets. Being the President of the United States, and in his eyes, the king of the world, was the last and biggest possible thing on earth he wished for, and he got it. He has spent decades building an image around one simple idea: Donald Trump only wins. Hello everyone, and welcome to our new episode. What if there is one opponent he cannot defeat? One thing he cannot get? Let's look at Trump's career. Whether in business, television, politics, or international negotiations, he has always presented himself as the man who gets the deal done. The closer you look, the more one pattern appears. Trump wants visible victories against everyone, against parties, against countries, against everything and everyone on the planet. Something he can sell, something he can call a win. This is one reason supporters admire him. Critics argue it's also one of his greatest weaknesses. His critics, political opponents, and even some psychologists have argued that Trump sees many conflicts through the lens of personal victory and defeat, rather than long-term strategy. His niece, Mary Trump, who has written extensively about Trump's family, has argued that her uncle is deeply shaped by a lifelong need to prove himself and has described him as someone who rarely changes course once his ego becomes attached to an issue. This is what others can extract and get him to do their job. Now it's called a weakness. Let's look at this by assessing a live example. For nearly a decade, Iran has become one of Trump's biggest foreign policy obsessions. He withdrew from the nuclear agreement, which was working well for the United States, maybe because Obama gained credit for it, and Trump wants all the credits for himself. He launched the maximum pressure campaign. He imposed sanctions, which, by the way, only brought misery for the Iranian people he promised to liberate. But sanctions are actually good for the government. He repeatedly promised that Iran would eventually accept a deal on his terms. But then something strange happened. Iran did not collapse, did not surrender, did not change its strategic position. In fact, every administration that deals with Iran eventually discovers the same thing. Iran is not a country that likes being told what to do. Iran still remains unresolved. Even now, Trump's public statements swing between threats and negotiations. One day he speaks about making a deal, another day he warns that Iran will pay the price. Now ask yourself, imagine you're Donald Trump. You built your public identity around winning. You became president not once but twice. You are the most powerful politician in the world. Yet, one country keeps refusing to fit the script. At what point does this issue stop being another foreign policy challenge? At what point does it become personal? I think this has already happened. When Witkoff quoted Trump a few days before the big war, I don't understand. We have the biggest navy on their borders. Why they don't surrender? This became a personal problem for him when he said that. Now after the war, thousands of casualties and immense economic pressure for Americans, Iranians, and the world, and a strong damage to American military power. Nothing has changed. Iran does not give him anything, but is even asking for more. But Trump still thinks that he can get Iranians to surrender and give him the deal he wishes for. That's why, based on CNN, until now, Trump has 39 times claimed a deal is close. Benjamin Netanyahu knew from day one that Iran cannot be defeated easily. He only used this weakness of Trump to sell him a fantasy and put him in a position where he has no way but to fight till the end. So now Donald Trump's Iran policy is driven only by psychology. He no longer cares about catastrophes in American and global economy. He doesn't care about the US interests anymore. He doesn't listen to those who say come back home, retreat. This is not our problem. Maybe the reason Iran occupied such a unique place in his worldview is because it represents the one thing he has never fully achieved, like all wins he had before. For him, it's just an unfinished chapter. If that's true, then future becomes more easier to predict. He will probably continue alternating between pressure, conflict, and negotiation, because walking away would mean accepting uncertainty. And uncertainty looks too much like defeat. The biggest mystery is not whether Trump wants a deal with Iran. He clearly does. The real mystery is this: can Donald Trump accept a world in which Iran never gives him what he wants? Because if the answer is no, then this confrontation may outlive every ceasefire, every negotiation, and perhaps his presidency. He will fight for his ego until his last days in this life. So he is not backing down. Iran will not surrender. And if Iran does not surrender to his terms for a long time, what do you think Donald Trump will do to make them? I only have horrible scenarios in my mind. Please leave your comments.